What is going on, everyone? We are starting our road to pull-ups, or our journey to pull-ups, our quest for pull-ups. Don't know what it's going to be called yet, but we are trying to achieve some pull-ups. So I'm assuming you are at the very beginning of this journey. This is lesson 1. We're going to start with the most basic of drills, ready to progress and achieve that hallmark of bodyweight strength that is the pull-up. It's something that so many people come to me wanting to achieve, and so I thought it's something we should cover in depth. Let's start off then with our grip strength. So this is something that holds a lot of people back, particularly from achieving multiple reps of the pull-ups, but it's also, if you can't hold your body weight, then you're not going to do a pull-up. So it's a good place to start. Let's find a ring or a bar that you have available and go from there. So what I'm trying to do initially is just a passive hang. So that's to hold my body weight up and just completely relax into it. So hopefully you can clear the floor where you are and just let your body weight sink down, completely elevating those shoulders. These rings are probably just a little bit too low at the moment, but we'll work with it. If you struggle with this grip strength initially, you can just keep your toes in contact. And again, just try and really elevate those shoulders. Let the hips sink down into the floor. Another good one to do, just to loosen off those shoulders as well, is an inverted hang. So we're going to take the rings or the bar. If you're using a bar, you'll just need to go up into it with an internal rotation of the shoulders. Drop the body down into it. Now this is going to be really uncomfortable if you're not familiar with this position, in which case just take it a little bit slower. But you'll see as you build up the strength, you just are able to take the full body weight in that position. But initially just start with your feet on the floor. You're just playing around with these hands, getting used to that position, loosening off the shoulders, loosening off the lats in particular, because they're going to be the primary muscle group that we're targeting today. Excellent, okay. You can really play around with those hangs as you see fit. One thing that I quite like to do once you've built up the endurance is to go on to single arm hangs. So trying to see how long you can take on one side before going over to the other. Okay, so go to your difficulty level. We're going to now start to think about scapula. Now, scapula, for those of you who don't know what it is, so these shoulder blades, if I can just try and wing one shoulder blade there, this is my shoulder blade. Okay? These are very important in the pull-up movement, because what you'll find most people try and do is they'll hunch the shoulders over in the pull-up. Everything's very tense in the shoulders. We're using muscles that aren't the strongest for that movement. What instead we want to do is drop the shoulders down. See, I'm depressing my scapula. Okay, so once I've depressed, I can then pull through the elbows and use my lats instead. Okay, so these muscles are going to be a lot stronger. They're big muscles. Okay, as I reach the top, I want to be chest out, shoulders back. See how I retract the scapula as well. So depress, retract. Okay? So that is the movement that we need to get into the habit of doing. First of all, we're going to build that by just doing a scapular pull-up. So let me zoom you in a little bit here towards the rings and I'll show you what I mean. In fact, I'll keep the top off of this one just so you can see the movement. So to begin with, you can keep the feet in contact but by all means take it off if you feel comfortable. We're going to shrug those shoulders away from the ears before dropping back down and elevating the shoulders. Press, elevate, press, elevate. Let's go for 10 of these. So watch that you're not bending the elbows there. We're trying to keep them entirely straight and just move that scapula. In between, we're just going to loosen off. Just throw one arm round. Okay, you might have a bit of click in there, in which case we probably need to stretch off a little bit on those shoulders. Okay. Back into our second set, 10 reps. Little pause at the top. Good stuff, well done. Okay, so again, just shake them off nice and loose. So as well as scapular pull-ups, quite like to do some scapular push-ups as well to really train the other part of the scapula's movement. So we're going to go into press-up position. You can be on the knees to start off with. Slightly turned out hands and also turned out elbows as well, okay? So externally rotate the shoulders. From here, I'm aiming to pinch my shoulder blades together, retract, and then push through the floor, spread my shoulder blades out to the side, protract. Okay, so it's just the top half of our cat-cow. Retract, protract. You want to make this a little bit harder, let's go onto the toes, into a plank position. Same again, protract, try not to drop those hips, protract. And hopefully you'll get a little bit stronger in that scapula as you continue to repeat those. So find your progression, whether it's on the knees or the toes, and we're going to go for a set of 10. 1, 2, 3, watch those arms on bending. 4, 5, 6, really try and round the shoulders at the top, push through the floor. And there you go. So have a little rest, loosen those shoulders off. So by now hopefully we're starting to get familiar with firstly where the scapula is and how we activate it. So another thing that we're going to need, focus. So another thing that we're going to need is full body tension. It's no good just hanging and trying to pull the body up as if it's a dead weight. You need the core to be engaged so that you can stay rigid and none of the energy that you're pulling with is lost throughout the body. Okay, so we're going to do an exercise which is really going to help promote full body tension. So coming down to the floor, I want to lie flat initially, okay, and hands behind the head, and I'm going to come up so that my lower back
is in contact with the floor. If you find you're arching too much, then you're probably going to want to bend your knees a little bit, okay? Then we'll start to lengthen out and keep that lower back in contact. Chest stays off the floor. And we're going to do a static hold for 30 seconds. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. That was a quick 30 seconds. I don't know if that was actually accurate. So, if you felt like your back was starting to arch there, then by all means just tuck the knees in a bit more. Okay, reach forward with the hands. The stronger you are with the core, the lower you'll be able to hold that move. Let's go for another set of those 2 sets. Okay, so I'm going to start high, keeping the lower back in contact, work your way down. Set my timer, around 20 seconds. Bring it up if you're struggling. Don't think I can hold another 30 seconds there. Okay, so we're really just getting used to that hollow body, because if we can use that when we're hanging, we're going to be so much more rigid and none of the power is lost. This is quite a fun one to do if you've got some space. I'm going to start in my hollow body and then I'm going to try and roll over and keep the centre of my body in contact with the floor. Okay, so now you'll see I'm in this dish shape, just my stomach in contact, rolling over again, into my hollow body. Reverse. Okay, that's a tough exercise. Gets you thinking about not only front of the core, but the back as well. Okay, that was a little bit too hard. We're going to just do some reps of this reverse hollow body. Okay, so try to come up onto the stomach, keep the limbs straight, and back down. 6 of those.
So we're thinking about how to engage that core whilst hanging. Alright, tell you what, let's go for one more set of hollow bodies on both sides just for luck. Okay. Starting on my front, coming up, and you can also, to progress it, just retract as well. Bring those elbows down. So up, retract, and back down. Up, retract. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, straight onto the back. Okay, this time instead of the static hold, we'll go for 10 reps. Okay, so I'm going to need you to start high. This is where you start your rep. We're coming down to the point where we feel like the core is really under tension, then back up. 2, if it starts to arch, stay high. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oh, starting to arch there. 8, keep those knees bent if you need. 9, 10. hopefully you're feeling the core now. Let's move on to some rows. Now, rows are going to be your best progression, or best regression rather, of the pull-up, because they're going to match the type of movement that we need, that retraction, that depression of the shoulders, and then pulling through the elbows. By all means, you can use pull-up assisted machines or bands, and we will explore that a little bit later on. But for now, let's explore the row. So you can do this either on a straight bar or like I'm going to do on the rings. So, what I want to do, and if I angle my camera up again, there we go. So you can either use a flat bar or rings like I am now. I'm going to just lower these down a little bit. Okay, so get a nice grip on the bar or the rings, and then try to gradually take your body back and walk forward under them. Okay, initially you might find you want to start up here, so nice and almost vertical, but then as you get better at these, we're going to go further and further under. So nice grip on the bar, retract, so chest comes out, shoulders come back. Depress shoulders, so try to hunch them up. Okay, we engage that scapula first, then we're going to pull through the elbows into the side of the body. Don't want to be out here. Okay, stay about 45 degrees away from the body so as to engage the lats. Back down, and you'll notice with the rings what I'm able to do is a slight twist. Okay, a slight external rotation, just aids with that retraction of the scapula. Let's go for 10 of these ring rows. 5, flat body. Okay, so not pushing up with the hips first, not letting them drop down, flat body. 6, 7, 8, full range. 9, squeeze at the top. 10. You can make them hard, even if you're someone who can do pull-ups. If your posture is right and you're engaging the right muscle groups, those are still pretty tough. So take it to the angle that you need. So the idea is that you keep going with these progressions, build the volume up. So by that I mean increase the reps that you're doing, increase the number of sets that you're doing until you can move on to the next class in this row to pull up, until you can move on to the trickier exercises. Alright, let's go for our second set of rows. So nice firm grip. Take the body weight, find the angle. See, I'm on the heels here. You could be flat. I find it just helps to be on the heels because then you're not taking so much body weight on the floor. Okay, 1, 2, chest engaged or shoulder blades engaged, pull. 3, 4, retract. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good work, okay. So if you're struggling to engage the lats on this exercise, and it's quite common, I see a lot of people who do struggle to engage the lats. So what is useful to imagine is that you've got a brick or just something lodged under the armpit and you're trying to keep it there. Let me just use my bostle here as an example. So if I put the bottle under the armpit and I squeeze that in and now take it out, imagine that bottle is still there, and you're going to feel this muscle under the armpit is nice and tight. Okay, so your scapula, those shoulder blades are set, and I can then tighten that lat. So third set. Okay, nice and strong, keep that body flat. Alright, retract the press shoulders, get those elbows slightly bent, okay, so it's almost feeling heavy in the hands already. Then we pull through the elbows. Imagine someone's hooking the elbows into the waist. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Try not to drop those hips down, keep them up in line with the body. 8, 9, 10. Good work. Okay, grab yourself a drink, take a little rest, and we'll go back on to some more advanced versions of pull-up. So we're going to move on to a band-assisted pull-up. We're going to use a resistance band for this, or a power band. These are insanely helpful. I use these in almost all of my training sessions, so worth picking up. If you're using a flat bar, then all you're going to do is just sort of wrap it over the bar, tie it through like that, and then hopefully this bit will be hanging down and you can put your knee in to support you in that pull-up. For the rings though, what I'm going to do is place the band behind me, so I've doubled it up, then place a bit of material over each of the rings. Make sure you've got a nice firm grip so that's not going to come out from underneath your hand, and then we're just going to either jump or sit into the band. Okay, so this is where it helps to have good grip strength. You don't want to sort of let those bands slip, and I'm going to take my feet out in front. So here I'm just completely relaxed, arms straight. This is where it's going to be useful to have a suitable resistance of band. So if you find you can't even straighten your arms, then you probably need a weaker band. Or if you find you're not even able to move with this, then obviously you want a stronger one. So legs out, relax, retract the shoulders, okay? Retract, press them, and from here, we're then pulling up. Okay? Retract, press, up through the elbows. Notice on the rings, if we're using the rings, then I'm twisting in with the palms. Press. Nice retraction at the top, okay? Very easy to fall into that habit again of hunching over. 3 more. Notice my legs are coming up with the body, but if you need to for the first bit, just keep the feet on the floor. That's exactly, that's entirely okay. Alright, 2 more. 1. Notice the control on the way down. Keep the weight in the elbows and in the lats. Okay, how was that? Hopefully you managed to engage those lats, you managed to pin those shoulder blades back, keep them down away from the ears. It's a case of trial and error, especially on this first episode. It's trying to find which progression suits you at the moment, and then working at that before you start to build it up. So we're going to do 3 sets of these. In between though, I'm going to work the biceps, because the biceps, obviously, as well as the lats, are a key part of the pull-up. We're going to do a bicep curl. You can use dumbbells, kettlebells, resistance band. I'll show you a couple of variations. Okay, so with the resistance band, for your first set, you're just going to step inside the band, underhand grip, okay, and then keeping the elbows nice and still. Quite like to have a narrow grip on these bicep curls, especially with a resistance band. Elbows stay lodged into the side. Go for 10 to 12 of these. Retract the shoulders so that just the biceps are working. We're just levering at the elbow. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, strong biceps are going to mean you can really lock that top position of the pull-up in. Okay, you're going to stay nice and tight into the top. Okay, take a little rest. We're going to go back through our assisted pull-up and then into a different variation of the bicep curl. Alright, setting up. So behind the back and then jumping or sitting in. Quite nice and relaxing in this position. You just happily chill here. Okay, 6 reps. Okay, hands start facing out, turning in as we come up. 1, 2, that's it, engagement of the shoulder blades before we start. Press, retract. 3, 4, 5, last one, 6. Excellent work, well done guys. Okay, straight into our bicep curls. This time we're going to use a kettlebell. Okay, underhand grip, elbows tight, externally rotate, pin those shoulder blades back, up into our bicep curl. Remember 12 reps, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. 1 for luck. Excellent work, okay. Dumbbell is probably the best way to go for them, but obviously if you've got kettlebells or a resistance band lying around the house, then just use what you got. Okay, take another 30 seconds. We'll go back through that one more time. So if you're still struggling to get that shoulder engagement, I'm just going to show you from the back and show you what those shoulders are doing when I'm in that pull-up. So set yourself up again. Okay, engage shoulders, pull. Engage shoulders, pull. Stay depressed, stay retracted. Excellent, there's 6 reps. Okay, if you need to revisit this video and just extend that to 8 reps, to 10 reps, that's absolutely fine. Go to where you feel like you're just on the cusp of failing, you can't get that full retraction in. Okay, last set of the bicep curls. I'm just going to do alternating sides this time. Okay, so retract if you're standing up. You can also sit down doing this on a bench. But retract the shoulders, set that that scapula in place. Keep that elbow close to the body as you pull up. You don't have to look at your biceps while you're doing it. It's not the law, but it helps to get that engagement. Even a simple exercise such as this, I'm always thinking about which muscle is moving. Okay, if my shoulder blade is back retracted, whether I'm externally rotating with the dumbbell or kettlebell. So it's not just to look at your biceps, it's actually for a reason. Alright, so that's the main bulk of our workout done. What we're going to do now is just finish nice and high intensity with some eccentric pull-ups. So this is where we're going to jump to the top of the bar and slowly ease ourselves down, okay? So this is where that bicep strength is really going to come into its own to be able to lock ourselves in at the top. Okay, we're going to go for 10 of these reps. So I'm going to want to increase the height of these so that I can jump. Okay, 2 sets of these. So exactly the same as your pull-up, but this time jumping and then slowly down. So you see, this is where we need that full body tension. This is where we need to be engaged with the core, because where that band assisted us before, it's no longer there. So to stay rigid at the top, we need that core. 2. 3, play around with it, see how long you can stay up there. 4. 5. 6. Benefit of these, or the beauty of these, is that you can really just get as many reps out as possible, throw yourself up, and then try and just cling on the way down. Where were we? 7. 8. 9. 10. That's tough. Okay, ready to go back in again. Hopefully that heart rate's spiked a little bit. Okay, just going to try and move my rings over a little bit. Okay, with me, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep those shoulders down, don't hunch over. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent, well done guys. That is our pull-up workout. Just to stretch off the lats because we don't want them to tighten up too much. I'm just gonna get you to come down onto the floor into child's pose. So round the back, sitting into the heels.
From there, we're going to try and push in the direction of this shoulder, and hopefully what you feel is a big stretch down the lats. Try and stay back in that child's pose as you do that. Keep that back rounded. Good, walk it over to the other side. Push in the other direction. Excellent, and there you have it. Workout 1 in the books. Hopefully you can join me for workout 2 and workout 3 when you're ready to do so. So don't push this, make sure you're nice and strong in all of these movements before we move on, and hopefully we're well on the way to securing that first bodyweight pull-up.